So, can you say just a few words for our international friends, what you just said in Norwegian?
Sure. Mercy Ships is a kind of peculiar ship owner. We have our headquarters in Garden Valley in Texas, which is quite far from the sea. So we are here to try to get to know the shipping expertise in the Norwegian maritime industry and to let them get the opportunity to get to know us better. Have any of you ever had toothache? You have? So you know a little about that, what that is, okay. Probably not like this. This is toothache that haven't been treated for years. And this is part of the reasons why Mercy Ships exists. There are more people dying from the lack of a surgery than war, hunger, malaria, and all kinds of epidemic diseases together, combined. Every day, 46,000 people die from lack of surgery. That is 2/3 of the population of Ålesund. Every day. But it's not only the huge numbers, it's also the suffering and the ridicule and the abandonment. The problem for this young lady is not only that it hurts, but she will probably, little depending on which tribe or in which village she lives, but there will be an expectancy towards her family to abandon her because many people think she's cursed. And if her family doesn't abandon her, the village will abandon the family. So it's really a terrible problem. She will probably, as this develops, mostly be out during nighttime. So, and this tumor, it doesn't only grow outwards, it also grows inwards. So it will slowly suffocate her. So the tumor will kill her slowly. And what in Europe is an easy surgery will become a very difficult surgery. So that is why we take first-class hospital ships. I mean, we talk Norwegian standards with operating theaters, like first world top standards, and sail them to some of the world's poorest nations. So that we can fix these problems. I will now share a little with you about the story of Mercy Ships, how it all started, and also give you a little introduction to our newest hospital ship, the Global Mercy, that was built and we got it a couple of years back, 2022. But I will start sharing about a guy from Colorado called Don Stevens. Mercy Ships was started by this guy when he was a little younger. But I mean, he came from the hills of Colorado. He had no shipping background whatsoever. He had no knowledge about how to run being a ship owner. But he was part of an organization called Youth with a Mission. And they had this God-given vision that they were supposed to buy a ship. And they, you know, these young guys, they were dreaming about, they saw this ship in their dreams. And God gave them visions. And then in 1978, Don Stevens placed a bid on the scrap value of this Victoria old cruise liner for $1 million without any financial plan. And he got the deal. And then he had it was 10 years of struggle. They had every chance to give in. I mean, they showed so much grit, and for some reason, this idea of rebuilding this old cruise liner to a hospital ship, to go to nations where they were in desperate need of surgery, that sort of attracted a lot of people. And during these years, we experienced, miracles like the one you can read about in the Bible. I have a friend, Trond Martin Ålesund. He was cook in 1982. I was 12 at that time, and we were at bay at dock in Greece, and he told we had no food. So I went to Don Stevens and said, I need money for food, and Don Stevens said, I don't have any money, you have to pray. So they agreed, okay, we will fast and pray for 40 days. And during that period, one day, suddenly, herring just started jumping onto the beach right by the ship. And, we know about fishing in Norway. Herring don't jump up to beaches. They just don't do that. When you read about the miracles in the Bible, Jesus gave Paul and John a great catch. They counted 153 fish in their net. We counted 8,301. And then Paul and John, they didn't have a camera, but we did. So we have photographic proof of our miracles, and I think that's cool. And that will be Trond Martin, that's this guy. Amazing. So, 46 years later, we have the 2 largest civilian hospital ships in the world. This one is 35,000 tons. It looks very much like a Stena roll-on, roll-off ferry, and it sort of is, but we just exchanged the car decks with 7,000 square meters of hospital. So we have been, since then, to 55 nations, 600 ports. We have done 110 surgical procedures and touched the lives of almost 3 million people. And these people are not numbers. It's kids who have fallen into the fireplace. It's people who have, these things you never see in Europe because we take it when it's tiny pea. You have problems like this. And these facial tumors. So this is what makes me get up every morning, jumping out of bed and run to work. I'll just give you a little peek inside of the Global Mercy, the newest and largest ship that we have built. We have 7,000 square meters of hospital. We have top-notch operating theaters. And the surgeons that work for us, some of them, they have, their PhDs in their field of expertise, so they are super skilled in what they do. And we have some very special beds. You see that there's some kind of bunk beds. So because in Africa, every patient will have a caregiver, and they will sleep beneath the patient, and they will help them. You go to the bathroom, they will fetch food for them in the galley, and those kind of things. So that the nurses can focus on doing their job. And we have, every year, almost 3,000 volunteers coming. They pay their own costs. We pay them no wages, and they do this for free. I have a colleague here, Bowie, with a beard. Get up, Bowie, come on. He has been Bowie volunteered with us for, guys, 15 years without a salary. He never asked anyone for money. People just gave him money for a living so that he could keep on working for us. We have a lab on board. We even have a training lab with equipment from Lærdal, these dummy dolls delivered from Lærdal for free. And everything from the control room to the bridge is really top-notch standards. So now we have just decided that we will build a new ship. And if you want to be part of this adventure together with us, this is now the opportunity, because this is going now. And I know that there are still some available spaces on the makers list. I can't guarantee anything because I have American colleagues who run this, but if you want to be part of this, if you want to, take the opportunity to join us on this higher cause, please reach out to us. Please come into dialogue to see if you could be part of this in some way. Thank you so much for your attention.